Hello, my name is Josh Turner, Sales Manager for Satellite Operations, and I'd like to take a few minutes to talk about DirecTV's newest hospitality product, the DirecTV Residential Experience. Okay, the first thing I'd like to show you guys is the new RC70 DirecTV Hospitality Remote. You can only get this remote with the DirecTV Residential Experience. It's a simplified remote. As you can see, it's antimicrobial, and again, it only comes with the DRE system. This is the old DirecTV remote that comes with most L-band systems, high-definition L-band systems. So let me show you a comparative shot here. Okay, so I just want to show you a couple of the features of this remote. So on the remote you have channel up, channel down, volume, very simple here, and then to get into the guide, here's your guide button. You can go into the menu settings there and use these 4 arrow keys to navigate through the guide. So that's the DirecTV Residential Experience RC70 remote. Next thing I want to show you is the DirecTV H25 high definition receiver. The specs on this, it's about 1.5 pounds in weight. It's 11 inches by 7 inches by about 1 1/4 inches, and as you can see, it's very small. It does have full HDMI outputs, component outputs, and the remote control, I'll show you that in just a second. But what we do with this remote, or with this receiver, is we take it and we back mount it behind the TV so the guest doesn't even know that there's a receiver back there. So this is the H25 receiver, and then as I was saying about the external remote, this here is the IR target. We take this and it actually plugs in to the external remote input right there, and then we run this line down here and it mounts somewhere on the TV so that the receiver, when it's back mounted, can communicate with the remote. So that's the DirecTV RC70 remote and the H25 high definition receiver. What I'd like to show you now is the DirecTV interactive high definition guide. This is a special software download that you get from DirecTV and is only available on the DirecTV Residential Experience. So here's our guide. It's just like the high definition guide that is in 55 million subscribers in the country. The one thing I want to point out is it's co-branded, so you can actually put your property's logo into the guide. The guide itself has up to 2 weeks advance notice, so you can scroll and see what's going on up to 2 weeks in advance. It also is very nice. You can just scroll through and can select your programming just by pushing the select button on the remote. And another very nice feature to the guide is that it's only going to show you the channels that you get in your system. So unlike most L-band systems where it shows all 2,000 channels that DirecTV offers, your guests are only going to see the channels that they get. So that's the new DirecTV Residential Experience high definition guide. Another thing I want to point out about the DRE system is that you can actually upload up to 50 of your own channels into the system. It's called local content insertion, and one of the things that people do with this is they sell ad time and video development to local businesses around the property so that they can advertise their businesses right on your TV. So I'm going to go ahead and show you a couple instances of what we did with the local content insertion. So this here, as you can see, it's in the guide. It says DirecTV Residential Experience. We actually created this channel. It's basically what we did was we created an MPEG-4 video. We uploaded it onto the DirecTV Residential Experience server, and this is what you get. So here's our channel, the DirecTV Residential Experience channel. Another nice thing about this system is that you can configure this so that every time one of your guests turns on their television, that one of your local content channels is the first channel that they see. So what I always suggest to property owners is to go ahead, film some of the amenities of your property, drop it into the DRE system, and have that as your landing page for your system. Another feature of the DirecTV Residential Experience is probably one of my favorite features is this here. This is in-room guest messaging. You can actually take and message your guests either in groups or to single rooms, anything that you'd like, and it's going to pop up right on the TV. So as an example here, usually if a guest has their TV too loud, you get a complaint. Either the manager, the night manager, either has to call or actually visit the guest room. With this system here, we have just notified Mr. Johnson that his TV is too loud and he's bothering the adjacent guests. It's going to pop up right on the TV. It's going to stay there for up to a half an hour, and to make it go away, we just hit the select button. And again, you can do this for groups of rooms, one single room, all your hotel rooms. You can use it for advertising for your bar or any kind of special events that you guys are having at your property. And that's the in-room messaging.
Hi, my name is Nick Peterson. I'm the IT Director for Satellite Operations. I'm here to introduce you to some of the hardware that is involved with the DirecTV Residential Experience. If you take a look down here, we have our swim modules and everything we need to distribute the DirecTV signal to all of your rooms. This backplate right here has a Swim 32, which will handle 32 rooms of signal, and everything that it needs to distribute that signal to all those rooms. So you'll need about one of these for every 32 rooms in your property. These network switches allow for the management system that comes with the DirecTV Residential Experience to communicate with each room, so we know the status of all the receivers. So this little switch here will go for about every 64 rooms or every communication closet, and this big, you only have one of these big switches down here, which will go with the server. If you take a look over here, we have the MCS, which is our Management Control System server. This server allows for the entire communication to happen between all of the receivers and our system. So that's basically the majority of the equipment that you'll have to house on site in your communication rooms. As I mentioned before, the DRE comes with a management control system. This allows you to customize the DRE experience for your guests however you'd like. You can change channel lists, you can change the default channel, you can see if a receiver is active or not, if it's been inactive, unplugged. Everything that you would need to know about your system you can find through this web portal. I'm going to go ahead and log in here with my own login. And this would be the front page that a lobby attendant or whoever you'd like to have access to, this is the first thing that you'd see. This shows you all the groups that you have. So right now we have upstairs conference room, that's where we're at now, so that's why we logically decided that's what we're going to name this group. We have two receivers on our test account here, the SatOps DVR and the SatOps test box. So over here in this column here it says active, and it tells you whether the server can see a receiver or not. The DVR right now says yes, and the test says no. As you've seen previously, the test box isn't even hooked up to anything, so that's why we got a no. If you highlight or hover over this triangle here, it'll actually tell you when the last time it saw the box. Now it looks like it's been about 3 weeks since this box has been plugged into the system. It says October 2nd. So these are very nice features that come in handy if you're having trouble with the room or what have you. If something's been disconnected, it'll let you know how long and what the issue is. It also shows you here the signal strength that you're getting from the dish. and other information that may be useful, depending on what you need to know. Now, if you actually drop this down here, it will give you some more details here, such as the default channel. This one is set to go to one of our local channels that we inserted at 1-1. It'll give you the default channel lists, the resolution, and tons of information like that that is very helpful as well. Now, from this, you can send messages, you can reboot the receiver, you can set up the groups however you like, like we said, the upstairs conference room, and then you can configure all those defaults. You can even set up channel lists if you'd like to, limit the amount of channels or get rid of some of the channels that, like the shopping networks, etc. Anything you want to change on the channel list or the guide, you can edit that out here. Now, there is an administrative section that only administrator logins have access to, and this is where you would do some of the bigger stuff, like adding the local channels. And here's those 2 local channels that we've shown. You can set up alerts, and this will allow email alerts to go out to, to whoever's managing the system. We'll definitely want to get those alerts so we know if your property is having issues. And maybe your lobby or front desk manager would like to have those as well. You can upload your property logo here, as we showed you in the guide. It puts the logo for your property. This is the satellite operations logo for us. And then you can create users as well. You want to make sure that whoever has access to the system is accountable for what they're doing. And that's why you need to, it's a very good idea to add in users for every user who has access here.